Today, I'm going to talk about something that we all have some level of experience with. Idols. Whether it's a CEO, a political leader, a Kardashian, an artist, or an Olympic gold medalist, we've all had somebody we looked up to. Something we aspire to be. If you're sitting there thinking, I've never had an idol, well, our society sure has a knack for creating them. I was a competitive swimmer from when I was around 6 years old up until recently. And it wasn't long until I stumbled across a documentary about Katie Ledecky. And suddenly, I knew what I wanted to be. I wanted to be an Olympic gold medalist in swimming and practically become her. I looked up at her wide-eyed. She's gorgeous, strong, famous, and accomplished. So for years, I only bought the same brand of swim gear she uses and the same goggles, like that would miraculously make me, the chubby little 8-year-old girl, instantaneously as fast as her. The one time I got to meet her, I had to go run around the side of a building and jump up and down, so excited to finally get to meet the person who is what I wanted to be. So for years, I swam with the single goal of becoming a national level swimmer. In that mindset, it did have some benefits. It helped me try hard in practice, gave me someone to look up to, it gave me goals. However, this mindset only worked to a certain extent, because becoming a national level swimmer was the only measure of success. Just as it had motivated me, it also tore down my self-esteem. Because although I was improving, it felt as if it were all failures because I wasn't a 15-year-old with a gold medal. It felt as if none of my achievements were worth anything and all of my hard work had been a waste. I was spending 3 hours a day just trying to reach what felt like the bare minimum. I was so blinded by this sole goal that I based my entire life around that I couldn't see the ways swimming overshadowed everything else. Kindness, work ethic, academics, and friends all seemed like secondary and unworthy goals if I couldn't first achieve the level of success Katie Ledecky has achieved. But after years in the pool, reality finally struck me. I was not going to be a national level swimmer, and looking back, it is painfully obvious. Yet I clung to the goal so tightly because I was afraid that I didn't know who I would be without it. Even after I had lost my love of swimming, it took a lot of reflection to realize that this idol that had once motivated me was now the main thing holding me back. Once I came to this understanding, it was much more clear to see that I didn't have many true friends. I had so much more potential in academics, and I wasn't doing anything that I genuinely enjoyed. I did choose to keep swimming, but I tried to bring a better balance into my life. And in the midst of this, I unintentionally found a new idol. He's a man at my swim club every day who's probably around 60 years old, and he creeps back and forth across the pool, awkwardly grunting every few strokes and swimming seemingly endless amounts of butterfly with no regard for elegance or technique. And he is the person I want to be when I grow up. Why would you ever want to be like him, my teammates said while laughing. I've never met him, yet he embodies everything I dream of being. He's committed, gritty, carefree, and happy. No matter what else I do or achieve in my life, he is the kind of person I want to be. So firstly, he is there every single day. His level of consistency outshines even the most dedicated members of my club team. And in the same way, butterfly is hard. And almost the entire time he's in the pool, about an hour, he swims butterfly. It takes so much grit And I aim to be someone who sets a goal and pursues it with the same unwavering consistency, but not to achieve some external benchmark, but instead, like him, to better my body and my mind with a love for myself and not a desire to become someone else. I also admire the way he shows up every day with little regard for how he appears. He comes during the busiest time of the day, he grunts, and he swims strange butterfly. But he doesn't let anybody discourage him from doing what he enjoys. Yet what truly shines through all of this is the genuine joy you can see on his face when he sees someone he knows, or the warmth of the greetings exchanged with anyone else on deck. So, I want to grow up to be the 60-year-old grunting and swimming strange butterfly. Not because of his stroke or swimming abilities, but because of who he is and how I see him live. Now you might be wondering, why is having this kind of idol beneficial? Well, in my experience, most of the people our society idolizes are great, but they cause us to measure ourselves and our successes against unattainable standards. It's hard to celebrate your successes, or even realize they are successes, when you're not in the same universe of publicity or wealth as the person you've decided to become. For all the students out there, this could be getting an 85 in a class where you usually get 70s. Well, no, this is not valedictorian level. It's the best for you, and it shouldn't be overshadowed by that person with a 5.2 GPA you've decided to become. And at the same time, while it's great to celebrate the grade, we must also reaffirm that the grade is not everything. To live a successful and gratifying life, we need friends, loved ones, intellectual challenges, physical activity, things we enjoy, things we look forward to. Of course, among other things, yet believe it or not, grades are not a major part of that. With a less conventional idol, like my old swimming dude, we can begin to humanize our goals. It's no longer just someone we see on social media, and it's not just the grades or gold medals we want. Instead, while it is okay to want their material things, we begin to see them as a whole person, and it allows us to set goals for our whole self, not just find external benchmarks. A more genuine idol can also help us to recognize that losing one thing doesn't mean losing everything. If I can't swim, I still have worth. I can still succeed in academics, another sport, a job, or most importantly, I can find joy and bring joy to others. So my challenge to you is this: find your own old swimming dude. They may not be in the lane next to you, but instead at your office, in your family, or at a shop you frequent. Seek out somebody who embodies the kind of person you want to be. Let's move away from idolizing perfection and instead embrace the beauty of our imperfections. In doing so, we not only empower ourselves, but foster a greater appreciation for the diversity and authenticity in those around us. Let's celebrate the grit, kindness, and gifts within ourselves and others. Thank you so much for your time, and here's to embracing our unlikely idols and becoming the best versions of ourselves.